Years I get opportunity to speak, but I must say that what I saw the other day in Delhi and what I see here this evening is something special. I'm extremely happy to know that the company has touched 1,000 crores this year, but the contribution of Subhashish Babu, Abhishek, Arpita Didi and other members of the Dtdc family is not just the numbers, it's not just the crores, because 2 years down the line you'll be 1,500 crores, 5 years down the line you'll be 2,000 crores. But what will always stand and what will always remain in the hearts of you, of me, or of people around the world is what difference the brand has to your lives. You know, life is judged by the amount of money you see on the balance sheet or the amount of money you have in your bank. Life is judged by a lot more things, and what Subhashish Babu and Dtdc and Abhishek and the family does is that it brings a smile to your faces. When you wake up in the morning every day when you go to work, you go with this belief and you go with this mindset that I have started to reach a brand which will give security to my life, and I think that is the most important thing. You know, sir, I know you will achieve greater heights in terms of the finances, but what you've achieved with all these people, and I'm sure there are a lot more around the country, the number of employees you have around the country must be in thousands, in lakhs. I'm not too sure about the exact numbers, but your biggest contribution to the society is what you've done to them. You bring smiles to everyone, to the little children, their parents, their grandparents. Here is one man who is the boss, because you know the toughest thing in life is to be a leader. It's very easy to sit from outside and say he's the boss, he runs it, he makes the most money, you know, he gets all the facilities, he walks into any cricket stadium in the world, he walks into any offices in the world. But what you must understand, that the responsibility he has on his shoulders to make sure every life of yours is smooth, and you go to sleep in the night with the thought process that I have a man at the top who's going to stand by me when I'm in trouble. I think that's the biggest contribution he has made to all of you. It's a day for all of you to celebrate. I've always believed that the annual award ceremony, whether it's in sport or whether it's in school or whether it's in business, is a recognition of all the work you've put in right throughout the year. I saw the Bangalore Super Giants win the award ceremony this year. I think what you need to do is go back to Bangalore and meet the RCB boys led by Virat Kohli, because they've had a very poor IPL to begin with. So maybe your captain can go and have a word and tell him, hey, listen, you got to turn it around as we turned around for Dtdc this year. I've been told that the eastern part of India has got the best service award. Now, we Bengalis are nice because we keep serving people and don't worry about the money. So I'm happy to realize that the eastern part of the country has won the best service award, and I know that Subhashish Babu, Abhishek, Arpita Didi being the owners of the company, and I am being one of them brand ambassadors, we all come from this part of the world. So we will be extremely happy to see the progress in this part of the country where people have started to believe that things can get better. It is not as good as it's in Bangalore, as it's in Chennai, as it's in Mumbai. So the more you do, the more you become the best, the more you lift the face of the city and the zone. I was hearing Subhashish Babu speak about belief. He was talking about how he started. He was talking about he was in a business where nobody gave him money, very rightly so, because you know you didn't have assets to show to the bank or mortgage it to the bank. You know, there was no land, there was no building, there was no probably fixed deposits at that time. But as he very rightly said, that he had the vision, he had the dream. You know, nothing is achieved in life without perseverance. When I first started playing cricket, my father took me at the age of 13 because I was very naughty at home. You know, being a typical Bengali boy, I came from a well-to-do family. I was a soccer person, but you know, when the school holidays used to start in the summers and the winters, my father and my mother found very hard to control me. And in those days, there was no television, there was no mobiles, there was no computers. So all what my father did was to take me to a cricket academy and put me there. A lot of people have asked me in life that Sourav, with God's grace, you're very popular in this part of the city. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you be a part of a system which is going to change the country or the state? I said, listen, I follow my heart. I follow my passion. You know, the most important thing in life is that when you wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock and you have to go somewhere. Some have to go to play, some have to go to act, some have to go to business. It's what your heart wants to go. That's the only way you can become better. In any profession you do, you can only improve, you can only become the best because if you enjoy going to the profession at 7:30 in the morning. It should not be that you come back at 6:37, 8 o'clock in the night feeling tired. That means it's not the job where you should be. So for me, the reason of success is to first chase your passion, as Subhashish Babu did 20, 30 years ago when he started this business. He never knew that he would touch the 1,000 crore one day. But it was his faith in the job, it was his perseverance, it was his belief and I would say understanding of the situation that someday he would reach to where he is. For me, belief in life is the only reason for you to succeed. You know, I'll tell you a story of 1996 when I first went on to the tour of England. I was a young boy, I was 21 years of age, and I wanted to succeed like all of you do. You know, nobody in this world wants to fail because we have responsibilities. When you're young, you know, your parents look after you. When you grow up, it's time for you to look after your parents and your children. So when I went on to the tour of England in 1996 at the age of 21, I knew that it was a make or break series for me. I knew that if I wouldn't have performed, I probably would have not got to play for India again because playing for the country is very, very challenging because so many play. Millions play, there's states all over the vast country we live in and only 11 get picked. So if you miss out on your opportunity, you go right down the ladder. And then you have to keep climbing back again, which is very, very difficult in a country like ours, where cricket is probably a religion. So as we started the tour and we were playing Sussex in Hove, one of the coldest parts of England, it was in the month of May and it was freezing. I wasn't playing that game and I was sitting up in the dressing room watching the Indian boys perform. About 10 seats away from me, there was this gentleman called Desmond Haynes sitting and he was the coach of Sussex County Cricket Club. When I grew up, when I was young, and Subhashish Babu, he spoke about West Indies. The West Indies in his era was probably the best cricket team in the world has ever seen. And as I saw him, I was just waiting for an opportunity to speak to him because I was a young boy who wanted to succeed. And here was one player who was probably the best of his generation. And I waited for the day till tea time when I found that he was on his own. And I quietly walked up to him and said, "Sir, can I speak to you?" He, in his typical West Indian accent, you know how Jamaicans talk, half the time you don't understand what they're saying. So he said, yeah, go on young man, what do you want to speak? I said, I had to introduce myself because I hadn't played a test match then, and I said, I'm a young boy from India, I want to succeed. I've been selected in this squad. I don't have too much time to speak to you because I know you're busy. I've got a big series coming. If I do well, I'll survive. If I don't do well, I'm gone back to Calcutta and doing something else. So I said, if you have to tell me in a short time that what should I do to become a good player? He said, Sourav, everybody is born differently. Everybody has different talent, different ability. And the people here in this auditorium, everybody is blessed with something different. So he said, you know, the most important thing, I haven't seen you play, I don't know what you do, I've not seen your technique, but just from outside, the most important thing to succeed was to believe in yourself. I said, how does that happen? He said, you know, I've played the best fast bowlers in the world. You know, when I grew up, West Indies probably had the best fast bowlers in the world. Australia had probably the best. England, South Africa, Pakistan, India. We all had fast bowlers around the world. He said, every night before a test match, I used to go to sleep. And next morning I have to wake up and play the Dennis Lillies or the Kapil Devs or the Imran Khans or the Bob Willises. Every night I said to myself that I will play well. I played well the next day. He said every night I went to bed thinking that it's a green pitch, it's a fast pitch, and Dennis Lilly might just get my outside edge. He did. He said it was an amazing coincidence that the entire 110 tests of my career, my success and failure was dependent exactly the way I thought. If I thought I would succeed, I succeeded. If I thought I would fail, I failed. He said that's with everyone. That was 1996 and this is 2017. I last played for the country and for the IPL in 2013. So it's been 4 years I haven't played an international game. And I can tell you standing today that in 20 years of my career as an international player, as a captain, the only thing which made me successful was every time I had faith in myself. Whether I was a batsman, whether I was a captain, whether I was a non-captain again. Because in life you'll go ups and downs. In life you'll have pressures. No profession, no business, no sport has a graph which is only going to go up. You know, ask Subhashish Babu when he does business, there's one quarter which gives him less profit, one quarter which gives him maximum profit, and there's another quarter which gives him nothing. It's the same thing for a cricketer. You know, you look at Virat Kohli, the last 2 years were outstanding. Come Australia, he didn't get a run in 4 test matches. But it's not to succeed and to be what you want to be, it's not about failing. It's about how you react to failures. It's about how you pick yourself up when you fail. Because everybody will fail. You know, you look at Sachin Tendulkar, he's played about 400 one-day games for India, 200 test matches for India. Overall, he must have played about 800 innings. 800 times Sachin Tendulkar has walked with that cricket bat to play for the country. And how many hundreds he has? 100. So the remaining 700 times, he hasn't got 100 for India. But what he did was, when he was at his best, and when he knew that it was his day, he made the most. So for all of you here in your business and in your profession, when you know it's your time, you give everything you have, because 6 months later, as per the rule of the world, as per the rule of the system, it would be different. And you have to keep making it up for it. So when the time is good, when things are going in your well, do so well that it keeps you going when the time is bad, because everyone will go through bad times. And I repeatedly say that how you move in life, what you become in life, is the way that you look at yourself. Because the world might feel that you cannot play. The world might feel you cannot work. The world might feel that you cannot sing. But it's only when you believe that you can't, you won't. The rest doesn't matter. So once again, I thank Subhashish Babu for having me here, for thinking me to be worthy enough to take this brand forward. This brand will only go forward not just by him, his son, or me, or Urpita Didi, or a few men at the top. It's all of you. It's how you work. It's how you support him. As he very rightly said, it's not just about one Narendra Modi, but it's about the belief and the work ethics and culture of thousands of Narendra Modis at different levels in this country, which is going to take it forward. It's the same thing with business. A cricket team doesn't win because of Sourav Ganguly. India was outstanding in that era because Ganguly had Tendulkar, Dravid, Lakshman, Sehwag, Kumble, Harbhajan, you name it. Australia was good, Steve Waugh was good because they had Vaughan, they had Gilchrist, they had McGrath, they had Matthew Hayden and the Justin Langers. Similarly for Dtdc, you are the Tendulkars and the Vaughans and the McGraths and the Gilchrists. So their success will depend on how you perform and how you take this brand forward. I'm extremely proud to be associated with all of you. I'm extremely honored to be here this evening to share my thoughts and to share the stage with someone who I think is really successful, because you know, life is just not about scoring test match runs or one-day runs. You know, life is also about bringing happiness, and he's brought happiness to all of you. As that commercial which we shot at the back very rightly said, that we bring smile to your faces. That whenever a courier comes from your wife, from your daughter, from your son who's working away, it's that small rakhi, it's that small watch, it's that small card which actually keeps you going day in, day out. So thank you very much, and I wish, sir, you keep going higher and higher wherever I am. Whether I'm with you or not, I will always pray for you that you've made us proud in this city. Thank you.
So thank you, Sourav Ganguly ji. Thank you, respected CMD sir, Subhashish Chakravarti ji.
रिसीव करायचं आहे का त्याच्याबरोबर नाही करायचं